Hi and welcome to Whisky Shared. You're watching episode 32 of my Mystery Monthly Minis. I'm Toby and you're watching Whisky Shared. Welcome to episode 32 of my Mystery Monthly Minis. If you've seen this before and you know it works, then you can just skip straight forward to the tasting. Otherwise, the way this works is I have at least 150 samples in my sample collection, and my wife has picked one at random and she's put it into this blue Glencairn glass. I'll nose it, I'll taste it, I'll tell you if I like it, and I'll have a stab at what I think it is. Should we find out what's in my glass? On to the whiskey. If you'd like to play along with me and find out what's in my glass when I do, then just keep watching. Otherwise, take a look in the description now for a sneak peek. Let's start with the nose. Okay, so I'm picking up some peat or some smoke. There's some fruitiness in there as well. It's slightly earthy. Getting a hint of licorice and like star anise. I'm getting some toffee. I'm getting a sort of chemical note. I'm not sure what it is though. I'm getting some wood smoke. Also reminds me of like dandelion and burdock. But yeah, there's a nice, sweet, almost like sugary undertone to this. Not sure if it's fruit based at this stage, but it's definitely sugary. And yeah, there's a smoky sort of overtone. It's got a hint of Campbelltown to it, but not enough at this stage. Let's move on to the palate. Yeah, this is nice. It's very sweet, very sugary, smoky, like wood smoke. Reminds me a little bit of a Macamura Swedish whiskey. That sort of almost juniper wood smoke that's in there. It's not too hot, but it definitely has a reasonable ABV. So I'd say this is at least 46%. And yeah, instant impressions are it's got quite a long finish. Yeah, let's have another sip. Picking up a bit more of the sweetness. It reminds me of sort of boiled sweets, or maybe even like cola bottles, those sort of jelly cola flavoured sweets. There's that sort of almost silky, sugary, sweet, slightly fruity undertone. It really is nice. There's a slight astringency on the palate, a little bit of ethanol. It's quite tight and sharp on the tongue for me. As it evaporates, the smoke that it leaves behind has a slightly, I don't know, almost chemical sort of evaporation. So it is like a pure ethanol sort of, but it's difficult to describe because it's the way it's evaporating from my palate is unlike most whiskies. I do get this from some peated whiskies, but it's as it does that, it leaves a sweetness and a wood smoke behind. Let's have one final sip. There's a little bit of this that reminds me of the White Peak distillery. I've had one recently, and this reminds me of that sort of lightly peated spirit. But there's a bit that also makes me think it can't be from there because it tastes a little bit more mature and a bit more well-rounded, but I think it's really difficult to guess. I think if it isn't something like that, then it's probably a Scotch whisky, possibly Islay, possibly Highland, 46%. No idea on the age. I normally get it wrong with peated whiskies, so maybe anywhere between sort of 5 and 10 years. But it's yeah, it is nice. I like this. It's got a nice long finish. It's nice and sweet. There's a sort of icing sugar, powdered sugar, sort of lingering on the palate, and yeah, it's got a decent ABV. I think this could possibly be between 46 and 50%. Should we find out what's in my glass? Right, so it's an Amrut Peated. It's 46% ABV, and it came to me as part of my Whisky Pioneer subscription. Well, obviously I was around the right idea in terms of ABV. It's obviously an Indian whiskey, which I didn't get, and yeah, I've not had an Amrut before. It's definitely been on my radar. I think I've even got some more samples, even ones that, you know, I've purchased on purpose but haven't got around to tasting. So yeah, I think this is quite impressive. It's definitely given me the sort of appetite to seek them out further. And yeah, obviously it can taste like Scotch whisky. I'm not sure if they get their peat from Scotland. Possibly, I think I've heard that before, but I may be wrong. If you do know, let me know in the comments. And if you've tried Amrut before, you know, especially this expression, let me know what you thought of it. And if you think there's a particular one that I should try, then let me know in the comments. I'd really like to hear. Hopefully you found that interesting, and I'll see you next time. Stauncher. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment, and please consider subscribing for more videos like this.